Hi, this is JoAnne Worley, and you're listening to TV Confidential. Woo! Be quiet!
A light, a stoplight,
Things that flash?
Ed Robertson welcoming you back to TV Confidential, radio talk show about television. This week is a radio talk show dedicated to Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit, the actress known around the world as Major Margaret Houlihan on MASH. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. Loretta Swit, of course, won 2 Emmy Awards for her portrayal of Margaret on MASH, and though most of us know Loretta best for her work in television, at the time Tony, Donna, and I spoke to her in February 2019, Loretta was about to receive the annual Icon Award at the annual Oscars party held in Los Angeles that year. We'll ask Loretta about that a little later on in our conversation. We'll also talk about the 2 new movies that she has in the works. Donna?
You must have an amazing amount of stamina.
I have a lot of energy. I do. Yeah.
Okay, which is great for your animal activism as well as
it's
acting.
Great for a living. It's great for my life. I'll tell you what. It's probably well known. I'm a vegan, and I do believe my lifestyle gives me a lot of energy. The way I eat gives me a lot of energy. Protein can slow you down a bit if you have a great big steak and you mix it with a lot of other calories, baked potatoes, or it will slow you down rather than give you energy. But if you have a lot of vegetables, it gives you a real boost. It gives you tons of energy. So I don't eat meat at all, no flesh. There's no flesh in my diet. My friends tease me that they have to run after me because I'm always way ahead of them. And I just had a big birthday, and they say, where do you come off being at the head of the crowd here, you know? When are you going to slow down? And, never. Never.
Because you have things to do.
There's too much to do. You're right. Sometimes when it's really cold and I'm really sleepy in the morning, I say to myself, it's got to get up. There's too much to do.
That's right.
But I've been doing this very lovely thing. Last week, when it was so cold, I got a lot of wood and a lot of starters, and I started up fires in my fireplace. And so in the morning, I get up out of bed, I take the dog food and cat food out of the fridge and get it sort of a little more room temperature. And I make a fire in the fireplace. I feed my animals, clean out the litter box or whatever, and I wrap myself. Now, I'm still in bedclothes, you see. And so I sit in front of the fire with my iPad and my telephone. And that's how I start my day these days. And God, it is so delicious sitting in front of a warm fire.
That sounds like heaven.
It is. And yet I'm getting things done. I think happiness is very important. And I don't mean any shallow sort of way. I mean when you love what you're doing.
Absolutely.
It gives you such satisfaction and such happiness.
And it's good for the immune system.
Yeah. And I think a lot of your energy comes from that as well. People dragging themselves off to a day of work that they really don't love, that they have to do. It's something. It's okay, but it's not giving them the kind of fulfillment that they'll get when they retire. Let's say, but I'm never going to retire. It's like doing something I love. Why would I do that? See what I'm saying? So, there you are.
On the line with us is Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit, Major Margaret Houlihan on MASH, and the co-author, along with Mies Hora, of SwitHeart, the Watercolour Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit. For more information on SwitHeart, the book, go to SwitHeart.org.
SwitHeart.org. Yeah, get onto the website and order a book.
Yes, and proceeds for the sale of SwitHeart, the book, helps support many of the various animal charities that...
Yeah, they'll see in the book there is a back page listing many of the organizations that I work with that I send money to from SwitHeart to support. Think of me as kind of a funnel. I'm raising funds for project, of course, that I put as a priority, but also the lending support to By the We, to Activism of Loretta for Animals, where I'm vice president, to Farm Sanctuary that I absolutely adore and respect Dean Bauer, the co-founder of Farm Sanctuary, making the lives of farm animals less painful and torturous and unnecessary cruelty. It's the only one unforgivable thing, deliberate cruelty. And I think we're better than that as a nation, as a civilization, as a people. I was watching some news on television where people were sending money to help the government workers who can't make ends meet because of what's happened, because of the shutdown. And the reporter was saying, that's the American people. That's who we are. That's how we are. We reach out and we help each other. And it just really made me feel so good. The way I felt at 9/11, the most extraordinary experience, to be surrounded by brothers and sisters. There were no strangers. Everybody was family. Everybody was reaching out and helping each other. It was extraordinary. And it's just so sad that it takes a monumental tragedy and the deaths of thousands of people to bring us together and make us realize that. Why don't we just be that? Because we're capable. We can do that. We are that. We shouldn't have to wait for a calamity, a tragedy, a death. That's what we should be living. But that's my mantra, my philosophy, ideology.
Yes, and this is the Loretta Swit hour. So, that is this is the perfect forum for that. This conversation with Loretta originally aired in February 2019. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th, at the age of 87. But going back to animals often bring out the best in people.
Yes, they do. They do. We allow ourselves to be put back in touch with our own animal instincts, as we talked about. This love, this unconditional love. It's all about giving and loving. It's the golden rule, Anyway, so go on.
All good. SwitHeart.org, SwitHeart.org for Loretta's book. If you go to SwitHeart.org, you will also see there's a set of greeting cards. It's a set of 10 cards, pardon the horn, set of 10 cards based on some of the paintings featured in SwitHeart, the book. One of our favorite images that's part of the book SwitHeart, as well as the SwitHeart greeting card, is the horse Mr. Ten Man with the purple...
Oh, my Mr. Tennessee, yeah, yes. Mr. Ten Man, yeah.
We are all just gasping.
Yeah.
When you sat down to paint, in general, not just Mr. Ten Man, but in general, when you sit down to paint, do you have an image in your mind's eye of what you want to do, or do you go with what the spirit brings you at that moment?
There are times when I'll just mindlessly be sketching and doodling. One of the doodles that turned into a painting was the lion, the big lion, the black and white sketch turned into a painting. There's a very cute story about how a little girl wanted to know if Arnold Schwarzenegger knew the lion was there. It was named after the character he played in the movie. I am now arrived at my destination, so you're just going to have to hang on with me while I take off my coat and stuff.
Okie doke.
Maybe I can put you on speaker.
All right.
All right. Can I put you on speaker?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear us?
Okay, great. Otherwise, I usually have a plan. If I sit down for a work day painting, I will have projects in front of me. You know what I mean? I'll have projects that I plan to do, like this project that I'm doing for Chris, which is a big surprise. So I'm counting on his not hearing this. I usually will have something that I want to do. A friend sends me a picture of their new dog or new rescue or something, and I will look at it and be inspired or what have you and go for it.
with Mr. Tin Man, the horse, the choice of the purple background, I don't know whether that's the sky or whether you just saw purple that day.
Yeah, no, I was hoping it was a big California sunset.
Ah.
No, I
see that.
I see the orange at the top. See, I see that now.
Yeah, I was living in Malibu at that time, and that's really the kind of sunset you could get in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
It was just fabulous. It was just so beautiful. So I think that's what I was thinking of. And, and you couldn't really photograph it well. It never was photographed well.
Mm-hmm.
To really see those colors, those amazing colors.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you like it. There's another one with that kind of coloring, and they're birds. And I imagined myself flying on the sunset flight, they called it,
mm-hmm.
from Miami to Jamaica. Plane literally flew through these brilliant colors. You thought you were going to catch fire.
On the line with us is Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit, Major Margaret Houlihan on MASH, and the co-author, along with Mies Hora, of SwitHeart, the Watercolour Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit. For more information on SwitHeart, the book, go to SwitHeart.org, SwitHeart.org. Donna?
We're talking to you while you're in New York. Will you be back in Los Angeles anytime soon?
Yes, I'm getting the Icon Award. It's called the Icon Oscar Dinner Award.
Mm-hmm.
We are generally across the street from the Oscar ceremonies. I say generally. I've only done it one other time when I was a presenter. And this year they have honored me with the trophy, along with Michael Learned
mm-hmm.
and Lainey Kazan.
Wow.
I like to think of us as the three L's, Loretta, Lainey, and Learned.
Yes.
So,
Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah, indeed. They're terrific women. So it's going to be fun, and that's Oscar night. What happens is at our dinner, which is filled with monitors watching the Oscars life size,
mm-hmm.
when they go to commercial, our program takes over, and our presenters come out and they give us the awards with, saying nice things about us. If they can think of something nice to say, they'll say something nice about us. But the wonderful thing also is that the dinner divides the take of the house into thirds and donates to our charities, the charities of our choice, which of course mine is SwitHeart. I choose my own charity.
Yes, and you choose,
as you should.
And you choose it well. SwitHeart.org. Yeah. Burning question, Loretta. Have you picked your gown out for Oscar night?
I haven't. I'm still pondering. For some reason, I see myself in winter white. I don't know why, but I've been picturing something in white. It's going to be something new that I haven't done
As
yet.
it should be.
Yeah, I like your style. It's very gender honest.
And winter white, you'll be beautiful in winter white. Hope you find it.
Yeah, we'll have it made. Otherwise, we'll do something we hope will be spectacular. So I will be in California. There's so many things going on right now. I did a short film the beginning of last year, and it's been making the rounds of film festivals, and it's been winning a lot of note. And so I'm very excited about that. And there's another festival that it's going into, and it's in California. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be there in time to see a screening, but it's called Dr. Sugar. Stars John Shea, who's wonderful. Paul Saliba produced it, and it's a terrific piece. I hope it has legs. I play John Shea's psychiatrist.
Ooh.
Thing. Yeah, because he's got a lot of problems. And I like the role a lot.
Well, if it's called Dr. Sugar, I would think it has legs.
Yeah, it should have legs with that name.
You laughed. That's what I was hoping you would do. So.
And then while we speak, a production company is readying a film that I'm going to be doing in New York and the Virgin Islands. Romantic comedy. It's delicious, and it's called The Bird of Paradise.
Oh. Well, we will look for both Dr. Sugar and bird of paradise. And
thank you.
And when you're ready to talk about those, Loretta, I hope you'll visit us again on TV Confidential.
Of course I will. And keep it confidential. No. Don't keep it confidential. Roar from the rooftop. And yeah, we'll visit again.
Let me just quickly say, because you mentioned you're going to the Virgin Islands, it is so great that production is happening in the Virgin Islands, because I'm sure that's going to definitely help the economy. I know that they've been suffering since Hurricane Maria.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and it's kind of a personal thing, being that I don't think a lot of focus has been put on St. Thomas and a lot of those other areas.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you.
So it is great to hear that there's production going on over there. I have a cousin that works in production in Puerto Rico, so it's wonderful that jobs and other opportunities are happening there. So I'm sure when you're done, you'll have some good stories to tell about what you've seen and how things have progressed as well. Not to mention the beautiful animal life that you will find in that part of the world.
Yes, indeed. Actually, there was somebody who already wrote to me about something that they're doing in the way of rescue. But, it's everywhere. When people come to me and say, what can I do? What would you suggest? Oh, boy, you can volunteer any number of places right now. Get out there. Go to your ASPCA. By the way, I always suggest, we always need volunteers to come in, leash the dog, walk around, get him outside. We have animals that need loving and nurturing and freedom. They need to be walked. They need to be cared for so that they don't get stir crazy until we find them a forever loving home. So there's always something you can be doing. Go to the store, Petco, Unleashed, or whatever, and buy some food, buy some toys, buy some beds, get some blankets, some old blankets, or, I can give you a list of things that we always need, and above all, we always need money. We always need money to help our kids, our furry kids. Furry, feathered, scaly, whatever.
Yes, and to find out some of the places where you can help support our animal friends, go to SwitHeart.org, SwitHeart.org. You'll find Loretta's book. You'll find all sorts of other charitable gift products. Loretta, thank you so much for taking us with you on your walk through Central Park today.
Did you enjoy it? Did you get cold?
No, we're warm talking to you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Emmy Award-winning actress Loretta Swit, from a conversation that originally aired in February 2019 here on TV Confidential. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
One more item. If you're starting a company, particularly one that is in an emerging market, you know that averting any sort of legal dispute is crucial to your business plan. Our friends at Tectonic Law offer an array of services that can help you avoid and preempt future litigation while also developing and protecting your intellectual property and intangible assets. Tectonic Law serves the needs of a host of emerging industries throughout California and beyond, including industrial designers, beverage makers, artists, farmers, retail stores, health practitioners, wellness experts, cosmetics manufacturers, nonprofit organizations, innovators in sustainable practices, and libraries. Go to tectoniclaw.com to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
Hi, this is Ken Levine, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Throughout both the conversations you just heard with Loretta, you heard her speak passionately about her lifelong commitment to all our animal friends and how she walks the walk in addition to talking the talk, in addition to launching her own nonprofit organization, SwitHeart Animal Alliance. Loretta was a longtime board member of Actors and Others for Animals, longtime nonprofit organization established here in Hollywood, whose mission is the protection and care care of all domestic animals. The president of Actors and Others for Animals, singer-actress JoAnne Worley of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, wrote that we are so saddened to hear about the unexpected passing of her friend and longtime board member, Loretta Swit. She attended this month's meeting and was enthusiastically participating. We will all miss her joyous presence. Loretta dedicated her life to improving the lives of all animals. JoAnne Worley, president of Actors and Others for Animals, sharing a few thoughts on the passing of Loretta Swit. This quote from JoAnne Worley, also courtesy of our friend B. Harlan Boll. Loretta visited our program one more time in July 2020. She was one of the people who helped us pay tribute to Carl Reiner as part of a special program that aired in July 2020. Loretta Swit co-starred with Carl Reiner in an episode of Good Heavens, the short-lived but fondly remembered series from the spring of 1976 that also marked one of the rare guest appearances that Loretta made on another series while she was starring in MASH. You can hear that conversation in its entirety and for free on the TV Confidential podcast. You can enjoy the TV Confidential podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Libsyn, wherever you find podcasts. Before we close our show this week, I thought I'd share a personal story about Loretta Swit. Because I do most of my interviews over the phone, I don't always have an opportunity to meet my guests in person. But Loretta Swit was one of them. I met her twice. The first time was in February 2017, just after Valentine's Day. Loretta did a signing at Vroman's bookstore in Old Town, Pasadena. This was about a month after I'd spoken to Loretta the first time, during which time I told her that one of my sisters was inspired to become a nurse because of her portrayal of Margaret on MASH. I went to the signing that night to buy a copy of Loretta's book for my sister and to have Loretta sign it. When the time came for Loretta to sign my book, I introduced myself and told her that she had talked to me on the phone a few weeks ago from my radio show. Loretta looked at me and said, "I remember you. We talked about your sister, didn't we?" Because most of the celebrities I've talked to have done thousands and thousands and thousands of interviews, I never expect them to remember me. But Loretta Swit did, and I was very impressed by that. About a year later, the Hollywood Museum honored Loretta Swit with one of their trademark special lobby exhibits. I was invited to that event that night, and Loretta signed copies of her book afterwards. I bought a few more copies of SwitHeart as Christmas gifts for friends. When the time came for Loretta to sign my books, she looked at me and said, "I know you." I said, "Yes, you've done my radio show a couple times." Loretta said, No. That would have been over the phone. I'm talking about you. I've met you somewhere." I said, "Well, I did talk to you briefly one night about a year ago when you did a signing at Vroman's." All of a sudden, Loretta's face lit up and she smiled knowingly. "We talked about your sister, right?" I said, "That's right. My sister became a nurse because of Margaret." Loretta Swit tapped herself around the temple area, smiled and said, "The old brain still works." Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th, at the age of 87. We had Robertson, Tony Figueroa, Donna, Allen, Phil Grice, and Susan Silver. Thank you so much for listening. Stay healthy, stay safe, and talk to you next time on TV Confidential.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-222-0511. 800-222-0511. Again, that's 800-222-0511.